Alright, time for another draftphysics.com. Debatephysics.com also, but yeah, really can't find a debater. Can't find anybody who defends this physics, and with reason and evidence would be really great too. But, physics hasn't compiled evidence of these really simple things. So, we're still stuck with the 300-year-old statement by Leibniz, okay, that dropping 4 pounds, all right, one distance, and 1 pound, okay, 4 distances, okay, is the same energy, okay, and this is essentially mv squared. And so, of course, my argument is no, this is twice as much energy. Okay, so understand the velocity. This would be like 10 miles an hour. This would be 20 miles an hour. So in a way, you could compare this to like a 400-pound football player coming at you at 10 miles an hour versus, okay, a 100-pound player going 20 miles an hour. And you thinking these two things are the same threat to you. Okay, that would be kind of ridiculous. You can kind of figure out this 400-pound guy going 10 is going to be a lot more of a problem than the 100-pound guy going 20. But anyway, okay, so if we could just decide this, I mean, in a sense, this would solve the big riddle. So the Ian Gosling did a video attempting to show this point, and he basically proved that, yes, that is a false axiom, okay, that 4 pounds dropped 1 foot is not the same as 1 pound dropped 4 feet, or twice the speed. And so he did an experiment with 4 springs, okay, and 1 unit of compression, and then 1 spring, okay, with 2 units of compression, which would be twice the velocity, assumptively. Yeah, okay. And, the results were rather decisive in the sense that the 4 springs, if you measure it on an arc, you'd say the 4 springs went here, and the 1 spring, okay, bent twice, went here. So, clear difference. Now, whether this is twice the velocity worth, that could be debated, but it's clearly more energy. This was clearly more, and a rather significant amount more. And then he had a huge flaw in the experiment where he's moving a big block of wood to bang it into the object he's swinging. And obviously this would use, okay, more momentum in the faster velocity experiment, and therefore sort of cheat the experiment a little. So this probably would have been here if it wasn't for the block of wood. Really demonstrating that, yes, it is true, okay, that 4 pounds dropped 1 foot is not the same as 4 pounds dropped 4 feet, that you don't get units of energy from gravity or anything else, frankly, by units of distance. You get it by units of time. And the fact is Galileo proved that. There's this 1, 3, 5, 7 ratio. So, I mean, this is like grammar school kind of, like I said, a 10-year-old could follow along with some of this stuff, but not these imbeciles. And it's just, I mean, it's just disgustingly tragic that I have to keep making these arguments. So if he did the experiment cleverly, so he's kind of seeking that, okay, but he doesn't have the ability to think through the experiment he's trying to do. So he's trying to do springs, okay, and he wants to throw something, okay, at a target, on a pendulum. And so to me, okay, I would argue that if he wants to do that, he doesn't need to push. What he should be doing is pulling. So what he should do is make a very rigid little eye here, and then have his spring attached directly, I guess I should use a straight line, directly to the thing he wants to push. Okay, see, I mean, I can't trust him really. So, I mean, if he makes this thing very strong, then he can have the spring up here. He could attach it right to this pedestal, have a nice straight piece, and all he has to do then is tie another loop. So he just puts a loop through the hole that it's a donut. He has a hole in the middle here that he can use, and he just puts a light string, fishing line, some kind of light material, and it won't be relevant. in terms of when it contracts, it's not going to get in the way at all. So once it gives the object velocity, the string won't be an issue anymore. It'll be relaxed and it weighs almost nothing. And the idea would be is he would have a quick release with another string that he would break, okay, on another pedestal that would pull the thing back, and he would just cut that string and release the object, and that way he doesn't have any extra weights moving. It's just this weight and this spring, and they'll be the only moving parts will be the spring and the object he wants to move. So that would be my advice, and you know, he really should do it the right way, just because he's claiming he's proving something, and he should be honest enough to say if he's made a mistake in his experiment that he should do it the right way and show, oh yes, without the mistake it does come out Gary's way, if you want to call it that. You know, it seems preposterous that I would be the only person on earth who would find it suspect that a 400-pound guy going 10 miles an hour is the same threat as a 100-pound guy going 20. That I'd have to actually argue that it would be beyond reasonable for somebody to think, no, I don't see those as the same thing. You know, that 400-pound guy, he weighs 4 times as much. I mean, he's going half the speed. It just don't add up that that's not the bigger threat. All right. That's probably all I have to draw. And I'll read some comments. But okay, no acknowledgement in the comments of the mistake. No, you know, it's like just no desire to be honest. And it's like, why should I have to deal with people this dishonest? I mean, you know, it's a legitimate question in my opinion. Why should I have to do that? So whatever this is, let me make sure we have everyone's comments. All right. So some guy says, or maybe 2 blocks of the same weight, but one extension unit longer than the other, so the board doesn't move. Okay, so that was an issue. I should have explained that. That he was worried that he had to move the whole experiment, so the pendulum would hang correctly. So when he's doing twice the compression, obviously he's moving the place he's going to push it from. But that's okay. He moved the place he was pushing from. He moved the place he was pushing from back, and he moved the target back. So the 2 movements were equal. So you didn't really change the experiment any. So that's not a problem. If you move the whole experiment, that's not an issue. But anyway. The block itself is the problem. And then some moron says insert, or the same moron, insert another block, question mark. I mean, they're just, I mean, to keep denying that the whole point is to get the extra weights that you're moving out of the experiment, not to add more superfluous masses moving. You don't want superfluous masses moving. Yes, thanks, Luke. I reckon the lighter I can make it nearer the nearer the 2 results, balsa wood be good. If you can count on balsa wood not being compressible, which would be a problem. So whatever. I don't know what this was. The blob. The blob. I think he meant Bob, but whatever. So really, the only reason why I'm reading these comments is this Puro one. Now the weird thing is this video says now it has 696 views, which it's rather extraordinary, and 20 thumbs up, which is way lower than it should be technically. I mean, it's below 5%, which is usually indication of shenanigans of some kind. But isn't that just too strange? I mean, his average videos are, like mine, less than 100. So why this 696? And again, the title is just the nonlinear potential energy of springs. He didn't show that it's nonlinear. He, in fact, showed exactly the opposite. I mean, the results were decisively not what he claimed them to be. They definitely pretty much proved the opposite case. And so this is the moronic Puro statement. All right, who, again, he's just so sloppy. Can't even start the damn thing with a capital letter. The second half of the spring compression starts in force where the first half left off. So again, he's saying that somehow the spring is uneven in the force it applies, okay, and then goes up to twice the force, says him. Obviously, since, I think it's doing exactly the opposite, actually. That's why springs aren't perfect in terms of giving back what they get, is that they start to lose pressure just when they need extra pressure. And so they end up pushing, in the end, air, because the object's already left and the spring just pushes some air. Obviously, since there is higher force in the second half of the spring compression, says you. So let me draw this. So the other argument this is completely tied to, this is just so bad, you have to go over this. I really shouldn't have to say there's something so wrong with what they're believing to believe this. All right, so I have two one mass objects. All right, I put one mass on the spring. I now have 1 unit of energy. All right, we all agree on that. There's 1 energy in here, and it will push back with the 1 unit of energy if I take it out of gravity, so to speak. If I could instantaneously get rid of gravity, the object will release at 1 mile an hour, actually, is what I'm arguing. All right, and it's only 1 unit of compression, 1 unit of energy. I put a second object on. Now their claim is I have 4 units of energy. I only did the same exact thing I did the first time, so I'm only putting in the same amount of energy in. How can I have 3 units of energy for this one? How did I get 3 units of energy by doing this, and only got 1 unit of energy by doing this? That can't make any sense to you people. All I have is twice the mass here. It's just twice the weight. And you're saying somehow that means it's 4 times the energy. How can that make sense to you people? Just don't. If there's nothing that's just a free energy, blueprint for free energy, there it is. We should be able to capitalize on the obvious advantage where, you do 2 units of work and you get 4 units of energy. It's a ridiculous axiom or starting point or assumption or whatever you want to call it. All right, obviously since there is a higher force in the second half of the spring compression, yes, well the second half of the spring compression is going to be the first half of the spring's release. So they're going to be inverted, right? So the last weight you put on will be the first weight that comes off, so to speak. The energy would be just double. So he's conceding that it's just double. It's not 4 times the energy. Even though he's sort of trying to make some argument that half the energy is somehow stronger than the other half of the energy. So that doesn't make any sense. The second half of the spring compression, the energy would not just be double. It would not just be double. It would be what? It's either 4 or nothing. You can't make up some other amount. That's ridiculous. For those that believe in the math, well, the math doesn't say it's anything other than 4. That's your v squared math. It would be 3 times as much as the first compression, making 4x total. There you go. So those that believe in math. So he just said that, right? That if you don't believe what they believe, that is if you don't believe when I put the second 1 pound on the scale, I now have 4 units of energy. If you don't believe that, you somehow don't believe in math. All math is wrong because you don't believe you can do 1 unit of work and get 3 units of energy for it. Oh, I see. It's so bad. Like I said, what's compared to, really, literally, comparing to flat earthers, how is this any different? Nice demonstration. So it was obviously a bad demonstration in the sense that it demonstrated he doesn't understand any of these momentum concepts because he's got this big, giant hunk of wood he's using to push the object with. But it's interesting how the physical issue intervene. So, I don't know. What physical issue? Okay. Having to move the board. Oh, moving the board. Yeah, that's the one that doesn't matter. It's absolutely perfectly sensible, frankly, solution. That wasn't a problem. The big giant hunk of wood was the problem. And how clever you have to get to make something simple. So I don't think you have to get that clever. You just have to spend some actual time thinking about it. Thank you, Piro. That's a pleasant, intelligent comment. Well, it's obviously an idiotic comment that said absolutely nothing except, well, if you don't believe in free energy, you don't believe in math. I would like to do the test with a lighter pusher. Yes, don't push her at all. Just use a string. Put a string on the spring, push the object forward. The string is neutralized as soon as it moves towards the spring, so you don't have to worry about it. It'll work just fine. So redo the experiment correctly, and you're going to get even more dramatic proof that you are, in fact, wrong. And what will you do when you prove yourself wrong? I mean, what exact statement are you going to make? Leibniz was still right. His premise was wrong. Okay, 4 pounds dropped 1 foot does not equal 1 pound dropped 4 feet. A 1 mass going twice the velocity does not equal a 4 mass going half the velocity. All right, an extendable piece to bridge the gap. Trouble is all these bits add weight. Well, if you knew that before you did the experiment, why did you use such an enormous block of wood? Okay, anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's where we are. Look, he puts little hearty things. He hearts these little nothing. Look, I don't know why he's even, what's the point? You throw that your little love at anything, any kind of irrelevant pile of crap comment, you put your little love on it. Oh, I just hate the internet. I hate people. I just cannot stand this fucking planet of assholes. Fuck. All right, now I guess I could do a couple of stupid comments on the, on my video. I mean, whatever. All right, so this guy, motherboard something, says, I love this, so he gets the whole double slit thing. Has anyone tried this experiment with an angled filter? Yes, of course. So why don't you just, see, nobody wants to do any work. They just want somebody to feed them everything. I mean, all you have to do is type polarized filter into Google, into YouTube there, and you'll get lots of experiments where they're using the 3 filters. Shit. All right, and then this fucking idiot, some fool. Oh, I don't want to reply. No, I want to read more. Thank you very much. My challenge, show us an example. Okay, you continue to claim that the squared second in unit of acceleration leads to the squared velocity in ke. Yes, I'm continuing to argue that if you do not do this silly thing, where when you divide a time into a time, you say it's time squared, which you don't do any other place. So if I was doing any other calculation and I did division, I'm not going to sit there and square the units. 5 meters divided by 4 meters is not, I mean, I should do 8 meters divided by 4 meters is not 2 meters squared. Okay, my challenge, show us an example related to falling objects with numbers where the unit mv squared leads to incorrect 9.8 meters per second squared. It leads to a complete misunderstanding of the ratio. The ratio is 9.8 to 1. 1 second. It's 1 fucking second. It's 9.8 to 1 second. How can you not understand how having a squared there where you get to say, oh, it was 3 seconds squared. You don't think that's exactly what they do to 9.8? They square the seconds, you fucking idiot, and they say how many seconds? Instead of doing 9.8 times 3, they do 9.8 times 9. That's what they do, fuckhead. That's what it means to say 9.8 per meters per second squared. That's what the squared is there for, you stupid fuck. All right, if you can't do it, just admit it. No, if you can't do it, so you show me, okay, any one of these objects you claim has twice the kinetic energy, you show me one experimental evidence where you get twice the work. So show me, 4 times the work. Show me something going twice as fast doing 4 times the work. Show me a single solitary fucking experiment in the history of mankind where something going twice as fast did 4 times the work. Four times the collision impact. Just admit that you don't understand these things. Have some honesty. So I'm blocking you now because that's just such bullshit commentary. All right. I have been nothing but honest, making honest explanations, saying just one of you play my video and show where I said something dishonest. Play the fucking video and show a place where I said anything fucking dishonest. You lying sacks of goddamn fucking shit. All right. So enough of that fucker. Oh God, Is there anything about you people to like? I mean, you are so fucking lowbrow, moronic, dishonest, lying sacks of slandering shit. You can't form a reasonable argument. You can't sit there and explain where I drew something on this motherfucking board, okay, that was inaccurate. God damn it. Jesus. Scum. You're just such fucking scum. Stupid fucking scum. Be better off talking to parameciums. Yeah, enough of the video. Hate you.